Believe you can, and you will get it. Belief is not motivation. It's a DCISO, and welcome to Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. Stop scrolling. This message is not for everyone. This is for the person who says they want more, but keeps living like average is acceptable. You don't need another video. You don't need another quote. You don't need another excuse that sounds smart. You need to hear this raw and uncut, because right now, your life doesn't match your mouth. You say you want success, but your habits say comfort. You say you believe in yourself, but your actions say doubt. And life only pays attention to actions. The brutal truth about belief is not hype. Belief is not yelling in the mirror. Belief is not watching motivation at 2 a.m. and doing nothing at 9 a.m. Belief is what you do when no one is watching. Belief is what you do when it's boring. Belief is what you do when quitting feels reasonable. That if you really believed you could win, you wouldn't negotiate with your weakness every day. You wouldn't hit snooze like your future can wait. You wouldn't scroll for hours and call it relaxing. You wouldn't keep saying tomorrow like tomorrow is guaranteed. Belief shows up as discipline. Belief shows up as consistency. Belief shows up when motivation is dead. Right now, most of you don't lack talent. You lack conviction that you say you believe, but your day says OT or let's expose it. You wake up already tired, not tired from work, tired from distraction. First thing you touch isn't purpose, that it's your phone. You scroll other people's lives. You consume other people's dreams. You laugh, tap, swipe, while your own potential sits untouched. Then you tell yourself, I'll start later. Later becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. Next year becomes regret. And you still say, I believe I can make it. No, if you believed, your routine would look different. Belief changes behavior. Everything else is just talked out. Belief is built in action. Not ing. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think belief comes before action, that's a lie. Belief is built by action. You don't wait to feel ready. You move and readiness follows. You don't wait to feel confident. You work and confidence catches up. Every time you do what's hard, belief grows. Every time you avoid what's hard, belief shrinks. Right now, your belief is weak because your effort is inconsistent. That's not an insult. That's a diagnosis. Micro-realities, you know exactly what this feels like. You tell yourself you're going to wake up early. Alarm goes off. You negotiate. Just 5 more minutes. Just today. Just this once. That moment right there. That's where belief dies, because champions don't negotiate with comfort. They execute. And every time you choose comfort, you're teaching yourself who's in control right now. Comfort is winning. Belief demands is let's get something straight. If your belief doesn't cost you anything, it's fake. Real belief costs sleep. IT costs weekends. IT costs habits you enjoy but don't need. You cannot keep the same lifestyle and expect a different future. That's insanity. You want a new life? You need new standards. You want results? You need new rules. Belief says, I don't do what feels good, I do what moves me forward. You don't get what you want. You get what you believe. Enough work FOR. Life doesn't reward intention. Life rewards execution. The world does not care how bad you want it. The world responds to who shows up daily. You say you believe you can win. Okay, prove it. Show me your mornings. Show me your discipline. Show me your consistency when no one is clapping. Because belief without proof is noise. Calm moment. Let this O&D take a breath. This is not about hating yourself. This is about being honest. You are not broken. You are undertrained. You don't need more motivation. You need structure. You don't need hype. You need habits. Belief grows when you keep promises to yourself. Right now, you break them daily. That ends here at the shift that changes. EVE, here's the shift. Stop asking, do I feel like it? Start asking, who am I becoming? Every action is a vote for the person you're building. Right now, your votes are mixed, that's why your results are mixed. Belief becomes real when your actions align, that pressure, and if you truly believe you can get it, then act like failure is not an option. Not when it's convenient, not when it's exciting, every day, because belief is not a feeling, that it's a standard. And standards don't negotiate, that end of part one. Pressure, HOU, don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need. Another sign, you need to decide, believe you can, and then live like it. Part two, why most people lose belief the moment it gets HR. Welcome to Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. Listen carefully, because this is where most of you fall apart. You didn't fail because you weren't smart enough. You didn't fail because you didn't want it bad enough. You failed because pain showed up and you panicked. You believed until it got uncomfortable. You believed until it demanded consistency. You believed until it stopped rewarding you fast. That's when belief died. And I need you to face this. Today, belief is easy when life, I ask if anybody can believe when things are smooth, when the bills aren't due yet, when your body feels good, when people are cheering, when progress is visible. That's fake belief. Real belief gets tested when nobody notices your effort. Results are slow, you tired, bored, and doubting you doing everything right and still losing. That's where the gap is. Most people don't quit because they're weak. They quit because they weren't ready for resistance. They thought belief meant confidence. They didn't know belief means endurance. The moment pain shows up, you start questioning, Eva, can you be honest? The moment things don't work fast, you start asking dangerous questions. Is this even worth it? Am I wasting my time? Maybe this isn't for me. Other people have it easier. That's not logic, that's fear talking. Pain doesn't mean stop. Pain means you're finally doing something real. But nobody taught you that. You were raised on comfort, that on shortcuts, and on instant results. When pain arrives, you treat it like a warning, that it's not, it's a requirement. Micro story. The quit until you know this moment. You start waking up early. First week, you're excited. Second week, you're tired. Third week, no results yet. Alarm rings. You stare at the ceiling. Your body says stay. Your mind starts negotiating. Missing one day won't matter. That one day becomes 2.2, becomes a pattern. Pattern becomes your identity. And you tell people, I tried. No, you visited discomfort. You didn't move in. Belief doesn't live in visiting hours. That IT lives in commitment. Pain is the price of interior. Let me say this clean, that if you are not uncomfortable, you are not growing. There is no version of success that doesn't hurt first. That in no discipline without resistance. In no confidence without failure. In no belief without pressure. You keep waiting for it to feel right. That IT never will. The people you admire didn't feel ready. They felt scared and moved anyway. That's belief that you lose. Belief because you expect progress. You think progress is dramatic. Big wins, big moments, big validation. Most progress is silent, that it's boring mornings, lonely routines, small wins nobody claps for. And because it's quiet, you think it's not working, so you quit too early. You stop believing right before it compounds. That's the tragedy. Most people are not far from winning, they're just tired of waiting. Calm moment. Here teaches you, don't need to feel inspired. You need to feel committed. Belief is not loud confidence. Belief is quiet consistency, that it's showing up when nothing changes, that it's repeating boring actions with discipline, it's trusting the process without evidence, that's grown man belief, that's grown woman belief, not emotional belief. Structural belief, that why discipline feels hard to while you, because your brain is addicted to easy. You train it that way. Every scroll trained it. Every shortcut trained it. Every excuse trained it. So when discipline shows up, your brain fights back. That resistance is normal. That discomfort is expected. But instead of pushing through, you retreat. And every retreat teaches your mind that quitting is an option. Belief dies when quitting feels available. That remove the exit door. This is where real change happens. Winners remove the exit door. They don't ask, should I do this today? They ask, how do I execute today? No debate, emotion, negotiation. Structure beats mood. Routine beats motivation. That if you want belief to survive pain, you need systems, not feelings. Micro story. The phone let's test your belief right now. How many times today did you grab your phone without thinking? That's not habit, that's addiction. And every time you obey that impulse, you reinforce weakness. Belief grows when you say no. Strength grows when you resist. That if you can't control your attention, you cannot control your future. Period. Pain is information, not a stoppage in pain is telling you what needs strengthening, what needs discipline, what habits are weak. Pain is feedback, but you interpret it as failure. That's backwards. Failure is quitting. Pain is training. The moment you reframe pain, belief stabilizes. That explosive to you. Don't lose belief because life is hard. You lose belief because you expected it to be easy. That expectation is killing you. Drop it. Hard is the path. Resistance is the way. Pressure is the price. Once you accept that, belief stops shaking. The identity stops saying, I'm trying. Say, this is who I am now. Trying is temporary. Identity is permanent. Belief locks in when behavior becomes identity. You don't wake up and decide whether you're disciplined. You just start. That's built daily. Final pressure. Part 2, you don't need more faith in yourself. You need more tolerance for discomfort. Belief doesn't disappear because you're incapable. It disappears because you haven't trained it. Train it through pain, through boredom, through repetition. Believe you can, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. End of part 2. Pressure, it showed you now know the truth. Pain didn't stop you. Comfort did. I in part 3. We go deeper. How you are the problem, and how taking full responsibility unlocks unstoppable belief and momentum. Part 3. You are the problem, and that's why you're still ST. So welcome to Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. I'm not here to hype you. I'm here to confront you. Because until you accept this next truth, belief will never fully lock in. Here it is, raw and unfiltered. You are not unlucky. You are not misunderstood. You are not behind because of other people. You are behind because of you. And before you get defensive, listen carefully. This is not an attack. This is power, because the moment you accept responsibility, you take control back. why this truth hurts so much. It's easier to blame life, that it's easier to blame timing, that it's easier to blame parents, money, schools, systems. Blame feels good. Blame protects the ego, but blame also keeps you weak. As long as it's someone else's fault, you have no power to change it. That's why most people stay stuck for years while telling the same story. Different age. Same excuses. Micro story. The same year on RE to look at your life. Last year you said, "This is my year." You said it again this year. Same habits, same distractions, same lack of discipline. New calendar, old behavior. And you're confused why nothing changed, because time doesn't change people. Decisions, dude. The hard question let me ask you something uncomfortable. If someone copied your daily routine exactly, would they become successful or average? Your answer tells you everything. Success is not mysterious, that it's model behavior. And right now, your behavior is modeling struggle that you don't fail from. Lack of confidence, you already know what to do. You know you should wake up earlier, train your body, train your mind, stop scrolling so much work when you don't feel like it. You don't lack information. You lack execution, that's why more videos won't save you. More quotes won't save you. More planning won't save you. Only action will. Calm moment. And no escape. Just this is where belief becomes dangerous in a good way. Because once you admit, I'm the problem, you unlock, I can fix this. No more waiting no more hoping no more pretending. Just ownership, that why you avoid to why, because responsibility removes excuses, and excuses are comfortable. Excuses let you sleep at night without changing anything. But comfort is expensive, that IT costs you. The potential, your confidence, your future, you pay for comfort daily. You just don't see the bill yet. Micro story. The phone versus the you say you don't have time, but somehow you have time to scroll, time to watch, time to consume, that's not lack of time, that's lack of priority. Every time you choose your phone over your goals, you are voting for the life you claim to hate. That's on you. Belief dies when you lie to yourself. Here's the most dangerous habit you have: self-deception. You call laziness rest. You call fear being realistic. You call quitting protecting your peace. Know you're avoiding discomfort, and belief cannot survive in a dishonest mind. Belief needs truth. Even when truth hurts, that explosive reality saying nobody is coming to save you, in mentor, in video, in perfect moment. This is your responsibility, that if your life is average, that's your system, that if your results are weak, that's your standards, that if your belief is unstable, that's your habits. Own it. The moment responsibility creates belief, fears the shift. When you stop blaming, you stop waiting, you stop complaining, you stop explaining, and you start building. Belief grows when actions are aligned with responsibility. Every disciplined choice says, I'm in control. Every excuse says, I'm not. Choose you're training yourself to be structure over emotion. Let's get practical. Belief does not come from feeling confident. The IT comes from structure. You need set wake up times, non-negotiable work blocks, rules for phone usage standards. You don't break not when you're motivated. Every day. Structure removes decision fatigue. Structure protects belief. Micro story. Be in no negotiation. We think about this point one day. In excuses. In negotiating with your feelings. You wake up on time. You do the work. You don't. Touch distractions. The end of that day. you feel different. That feeling, that's belief being rebuilt. Multiply that day by 30 that your life changes, that you can't think your way in a PDF. Stop overthinking. Thinking didn't save you before. T won't save you now. Action creates clarity. Action creates confidence. Action creates belief. Messy action beats perfect intention. Every time, that final pressure part 3, this is the line in the sand. Either you keep explaining why your life is the way it is, or you accept responsibility and change IT and no middle ground. You are the problem, and that's the best news of your life, because problems can be solved. End of part 3. Pressure, HOLD belief is now in your hands, not in your feelings, not in your circumstances that I in your decisions. Part 4. Lock belief permanently or lose. Welcome to Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. This is the last line. After this, there is no confusion in, oh, I didn't know. No, I wasn't ready. From this moment on, you either live disciplined or you live disappointed. Because belief that isn't locked will always collapse under pressure. And life will apply pressure. That why most people lose everything they start. Let's be real. Most people don't fail at the start. They fail in the middle. When excitement fades, when results slow down, when no one is watching, when discipline becomes lonely, that's where belief leaks. Not because they can't do it, but because they didn't build standards they relied on. Feelings. And feelings are unreliable. Belief is not something you feel. It's something you enforce is the final upgrade. Belief becomes permanent when it stops being emotional and starts being structural. Rules, standards, non-negotiables. You don't wake up and decide, do I believe today? You wake up and execute. Because that's who you are now, that's how belief stops shaking. Micro story. 2 types of two people wake up tired. One says, I don't feel it today. The other says, it doesn't matter how I feel. Same tired. Different standards. Point 1 builds belief. The other builds regret. The non-negotiable life here is what winners have at quitters never develop. Non-negotiables. Things you do no matter what. Not when it's easy. Not when you're motivated. Every day. You don't negotiate. Wake up time, work hours, training, learning, focus, negotiation is how belief dies. Every time you negotiate with weakness. Weakness learns it can win.com moment. This is simpler than you teaching you don't need to change everything. You need to. Lock a few things and never break them. Belief grows when you keep promises to yourself. That's IT, no magic, and hype. Just integrity with your own word. The daily belief system here is how belief stays permanent. You wake up on time, even when tired. You do the work, even when bored. You shut down distractions, even when tempted. You finish the day knowing you didn't quit. That day builds belief. Point 1 day doesn't change your life, but it changes you. And when you change, your life follows. Micro story. The night is to nighttime tells the truth. When the day is over and it's just you and your thoughts, did you earn your rest? Or did you escape the day? People who earn rest sleep peacefully. People who escape scroll in the dark. That difference. That's belief versus guilt. Why discipline creates... you think discipline traps you, IT doesn't. And discipline traps you. Discipline gives you. Confidence, self-respect, momentum, control, belief thrives in control. The more disciplined you are, the less life controls you. Explosive TRUTH if you don't control your day. Your day controls you. If you don't control your habits. Your habits control your future. And belief cannot survive chaos. Raise your standards or lower your mess, be honest. Your dreams are high, your standard are low. That gap is where frustration lies. Either raise your standards or lower your dreams. There's no third option. Final pressure. And don't need confidence. You don't need motivation. You don't need another video. You need discipline. Belief will follow. Not tomorrow, not someday, today, but the last words. Let this HIT believe you can, and live like quitting is impossible. Believe you can, and build a life that proves it. Believe you can, or keep explaining why you didn't. This is the moment. Choose.